Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. I am both live. I'm looking at myself on two different screens at once, so bear with me as I adjust. But we are officially live on YouTube live stream for anyone who wants to tune in, and we are officially live on Instagram for anyone who wants to tune in. I just came from a patient appointment, so I am pulling up my little post here, but we are going to talk about accountability today. I gotta get it so my two little cameras are exactly right next to each other. My tripod failed me and I didn't want to be behind, but I'm looking bang, bang, bang. I'm gonna try to give both cameras the moment of appreciation and eye contact, but if you feel like I'm not looking straight at you, my apologies for that. But we're going to be talking about accountability today, and I think it's really important to do so. So if you are tuning in or you're watching the YouTube live stream recording at a later date, I have started these challenge chats for my Summer of Strength members, the people who have signed up, filled out my little form, gained access to a program that I've put together that's a little over 8 weeks. It's closer to 9 weeks, I suppose, because I wanted to perfectly go from April 21st to June 21st and end on the beautiful summer solstice. But it's an opportunity to really gain tools more than anything. I think people sign up for challenges because they want to be able to do a workout and get some, results that they want, fitness results. But my main goal for people that aligns with my belief of how people really achieve health and wellness in life, like true health and wellness in life, is by having the access on First Street. You need the access, but having education, having the actual tools and knowledge of how do I find the right routine for me that's going to get me the results I want without sacrificing my mental or physical well-being. How do I then, now that I have the ideal routine, adjust that routine based on what life throws at me? How do I stay consistent without feeling burnt out or without falling into overuse injury? And even if fitness is not your goal, just how do I feel the best that I can possibly feel? And how do I achieve my happiest, healthiest life in general? Like, it sounds a little over the top and dramatic, but that's what everybody wants. A lot of people don't think it's realistic for them to be healthy and well. And I think health is a spectrum. What's best, what we can get you to, might look different for you than somebody else. But at the end of the day, I believe that no matter your situation, whether you're a part of the disabled community, whether you have severe chronic pain, severe mental illness, like whatever barrier is coming your way to your wellness, I think that there is always an opportunity to improve how you feel at the end of the day. So that's my goal. And these challenge chats are for my Summer of Strength members primarily. I prioritize their questions they send in and all of that. But spoiler alert, we are going to continue these community, free to the community chats moving forward. They'll probably be monthly realistically after the Summer of Strength challenge is over, but hopefully more frequent than that for the Lovely Bones members and for the community. So these are opportunities if you would like to use the chat on either Instagram or YouTube live stream, please do and ask questions. But if you do not have any questions, or if you are watching, beholden to the recording, I am going to go over the post that I posted, bringing it closer to this camera. The lighting's all off. That's all right. 5 accountability tools. I just posted this on Instagram the other day, and we are going to dig into each tool and have me briefly explain why they work. At baseline, I have to say, I'm really proud of this post for a few different reasons. I'm proud of this post because I was really trying, knowing that I'm the neuroscience specialist PT, I was really trying to put out tips that I felt were a little different than what you might see on social media. Otherwise, I was trying to be different and special. um, but really walk the walk when I talk about things that are realistic. Because even when I try to whittle things down for people, even when I try to give bite sized advice or a treatment plan for somebody, I might think I'm giving you something really realistic. Maybe in the moment you're saying, yeah, I could do that. But then when you back up and you try to actually apply it to your life, people feel shame, people feel judgment. I mean, we're so hard on ourselves. That is, I could talk about that for an hour and some change just in and of itself. But point being, they might try to then apply that realistic tip, and really they need even one level below that, even one level simpler. I don't want to say below or above, that's charged language, but all this to say, these tools that I put out there are much more sort of general advice that can be applied wherever you are at, like truly wherever you're at on the spectrum of feeling consistent with a routine that promotes your health and well-being. And I'm really proud of how adaptable they are and how unique I think that they are. So we'll go over them together. And again, I will tell you why they work in your brain. I've been absolutely horrible about starting this. Yes. Okay. Thank you for saying that. That's my Auntie Jeanette, willing to be vulnerable and say, yeah, I've been absolutely horrible about starting this thing. What I will say is, you are so not alone. I have had either people joining the Summer of Strength. This is my much smaller population, are people who were already really consistent. They were already in the throes of a routine, a gym routine in particular. And these people came in just wanting to sample my workouts and try something different. And I've heard from those people, oh, your workouts are great. Even they are like, I got caught up in my own stuff. I still want to give your stuff a try. Even the people who are really consistent with lifting, maybe they're in the gym, they think they're killing it, know deep in their heart that they are not doing the nervous system recovery stuff. They're not taking the moment to breathe and calm their system down, or maybe they're not putting their effort as much into a warm up to keep them safe, or they're not doing their other stuff, they're cross training, they're not doing gentle walks or whatever. Even the people who you think are like, oh my God, they're killing it, are missing a big piece that tends to be really impactful on their health. Then I have more people, I'd say 90% of the folks who joined Summer of Strength were people who were brand new to lifting, really wanted to try it with me, felt safe with me, felt comfortable, which is the biggest honor in the world. And those people, not one single person has said, oh boy, your accountability tools or your realistic tips were so great that I haven't had any issues. All of a sudden, poof, I am perfectly consistent. Nobody has said that to me. Okay. So you are not alone. And it is just this human issue where, and I think a societal issue, if I may be so bold to say, that we are conditioned to feel like prioritizing our own health and well-being is not worth the time. We could always be doing something else, whether it's the laundry or checking in on our loved ones or putting others before ourselves. If you're a parent, if you're a caregiver, you're thinking about other people. So it's that, I know not everyone's like that, but a lot of good people out there have a hard time prioritizing themselves. They feel selfish or like it's a luxury instead of a necessity. And the societal piece outside of that, society conditions us to believe that nothing is ever good enough. Like, unless you are spending the perfect 2-hour intense session in the gym, why do anything at all? that all or nothing mindset or hustle culture and just depleting our energy because we're in the spin cycle already. We feel like we don't have energy left over to devote to even simple things to help our health and well-being. So it is not you if you are dealing with that. I do believe, and actually this is a perfect transition into my number one. I know you can't perfectly read this, but I'm going to show you my number one with my beautiful friend who's also a doctor of physical therapy, Dr. Caitlin Celestino of the Brigham and Women sphere. She is a hospital-based PT, an absolute goddess and champion. Anyway, tangenting about my best friend, but number one, it's a perfect segue for me to say that in number one, I talk about embracing the fact that consistency does not require rigidity. And in my explanation, I am stating very simply that it is well worth it to commit to your health. Like, it is so worth committing to yourself. My point being, motivation, self-drive and motivation is key and is necessary. We can't get away from that, right? But at the same time, you need to embrace meaning let it sink in, feel it in a felt sense. You need to embrace the fact that if you are having a hard time with consistency, with accountability for your health and wellness practices, that is not your fault. It is not just because of your lack of motivation or your laziness or you're feeling weak, all these things in quotes, because we tell ourselves this, others can tell us this, we're so hard on ourselves. It is not just that. Yes, you need to have some level of drive and motivation. Yes, a support system, etc. All these things can help. But it is not your freaking fault. It's not. And if we embrace the fact, again, embrace the fact that consistency does not require rigidity, if we feel that in our bones and understand that our brains benefit from removing that shame, removing that judgment, removing that full layer of background stress. If we can remove that, our brains work with us. If we can remove all that shame and judgment and really just leave it to the side, even if we feel, pardon me, even if we feel like it's a little bit of a delulu moment, we have to be delusional a little bit, even if we don't believe it, we can tell ourselves, okay, I believe it. I'm not shaming myself. I'm not judging myself if I have to not be perfectly adherent to my plan today. As long as we are doing anything on average, it doesn't have to be every single day. It can be most days on the average of your, hopefully, knock on wood, very long, precious life. As long as we are doing something, anything on most days, that can be taking a moment for breath work. That can be taking a moment to mindfully be with loved ones or watch the freaking sunset with your fun Diet Coke on ice. I just bought a little pebble ice thing and it brings me a lot of joy. Like, the joys can be very simple. As long as we are doing literally anything for our own health and well-being on most days, it doesn't have to be what we maximally can do. It can be the minimum. As long as we are doing anything, we then are proving to our brain that, okay, we did something for our health and well-being. Maybe we didn't do today our 60-minute workout video that we wanted to do, but we did take time to move our neck slowly because we know that that's helpful and preventative for the neck pain that might come up during the workday. We took a few deep breaths and felt our rib cage completely expand because we know that that is so helpful for almost every vital sign in our body, so helpful for our mental well-being. We know and we can own, okay, we did take that time for ourselves today, no matter what it looked like. If we can embrace that and feel proud of any effort, you can have goals and aspirations, but if you can hold it in your heart. Like, I sound cheesy and woo woo, but it is so true. Hold that pride in your heart, even if you feel crazy and delusional. If we can do that, our brain senses safety. That's what it is at the end of the day. Our brain senses safety. You're removing the shame, judgment, negativity. Our brain is able to then feel the positive, happy chemicals, if you will, to be simple about it. Our brain is feeling the happy chemicals that came from that breath work, that 30 seconds of neck rolls in a peaceful state of mind. Our brain is yum, yum, yum. Oh my gosh, thank you for this dopamine that is flowing through me right now. Dopamine is very motivating, and we felt such a positive experience that we feel more motivated easily, because that chemical reaction leaves us craving that feeling again. We want more. We want to feel proud and accomplished. So if you really, really try to embrace that fact, hold it in your heart. Don't just say, yeah, I know, I don't need to be rigid, and then go into your life and catch yourself with that negative talk and not actually believing it. Embrace it deeply, and then you will be able to ride the chemical wave of positivity. You will be able to remove the negative health impact from that shame, negativity, and judgment. And then maybe you'll find yourself weeks from now, or however long it takes, days, weeks from now, months from now, who knows? Doesn't matter. Again, knock on wood, you have a long, precious life to live. You have a long runway to work with. Whenever it happens, you will catch yourself feeling a little bit more bandwidth, a little bit more space and energy to maybe add something to your routine. I did my breath work, and I know it wasn't my full 60-minute workout, but you know what? Damn it, I'm proud of myself for doing that. A couple weeks go by of me feeling proud of myself. Well, now I'm not bogged down. I feel a little more pep in my step. I have more energy from not being bogged down by that negativity. Because I have more energy, maybe I'll go out for a 10-minute walk. Damn, I'm really proud I did that 10-minute walk. Okay. Couple weeks go by, I'm riding this wave of positivity. Ooh, maybe today I actually feel so energized at the end of my workday. I'm feeling good. I'm going to try a 10-minute circuit of weightlifting. Wow, that felt really good. You see where I'm going with this. So I just spent most of our time on number one, but I really wanted to hone in on what I mean when I say embrace. It's not just a word that I chose to sound cute on Instagram. The embracing, and this is very like therapy talk. And by therapy, I mean like mental health counseling and therapy. But there's a difference between, saying in your rational mind, yeah, I know, I shouldn't be rigid. I can be consistent overall, yada, yada, versus letting it, sinking it in and truly embracing it. So moving on to number two, I was so proud of this graphic. If you are on Instagram or Facebook, it got posted there too. I need you to go ahead and look at my variety pack art. This lighting is awful, but you need to go look at it because all the cans are themed based on, anyway, doesn't matter. Cutie patootie little art for you at some point. My number two was make a weekly plan variety pack. Make a weekly plan variety pack. And what I mean by that is, again, on that same wavelength of not feeling like anything is on a hierarchy. It's difficult for me to say that because I am educating on, okay, per the research, XYZ is ideal for your health. However, any movement is good movement. I have to work that balance in the gray, right? I have to tell people, okay, based on research, walk the walk as an evidence-based PT, I have to tell people XYZ is showing the best results for health. I have to tell people about how good for you resistance training is, strength training, but I also have to make sure people know that any movement is good movement truly, and that anything is worth it, and champion the benefits you can get out of simple things like 30 seconds of breath work. So I have to be nuanced in that way. And on that note, I think this is a really helpful mental framework to have that removes that shame and judgment that comes with putting your health and wellness practices on a hierarchy. It still maybe, incentivizes you to work towards a certain variety that might be the best bang for your buck. But the word variety, it's not modification. It's not like something with negative connotation attached to it. Inherently, the word variety, it is removing of that hierarchy. Different varieties in a variety pack, you might like a certain flavor better than another, but one, if I'm thinking about the OG White Claw variety pack that swept college students everywhere, when I was in college at least, Black cherry was my favorite. That is not inherently better than lime, but I liked black cherry better. That's all. One is not better than the other. If you make yourself a variety pack, I recommend 3 varieties. What I wrote down here is that variety number 1 can be thought of as your full body. That's a wine term, whatever. I'm just trying to be cute on Instagram, right? Number 1 can be your full body, really your maximum that you would do. So let's say your eventual goal is to be on average consistent with 3 days in the gym. 3 days in the gym, one other day you're going on a run or you're doing some other type of cardio. You want one day to do a yoga routine, whatever your maximum number of active days per week would equal out to be. That is your variety number 1. That is your full body option. Option number 2, variety number 2 in your little variety pack, I suggest being your classic. I called it your classic because, again, that's another word that they'll use for seltzers and beers and stuff, but like your solid mid-tier, where maybe that classic variety, if your max is 3 days in the gym, 1 day of cardio, 1 day of yoga, maybe your classic is 1 good full body workout in the gym and 1 day of, yoga or active recovery. That's your classic. As long as you're getting 1 day full body lifting, 1 day of active recovery, that is feeling good for you as on average, pretty darn achievable. Then your third variety is your light variety. And that should be your variety, your weekly plan option. That is almost always going to be easy peasy for you to check that box. For example, if we're following this of your full body is 4, 5-ish active days, your classic is 1/2 active days, your light should be, for you, let's say, yoga is your favorite thing in the world, or any mobility type flow. Maybe it's my flow class. That would be lovely. Maybe Dr. Meg's flow is your favorite thing in the whole wide world. And you know that doing 5 minutes of mobility flow is like just as easy as breathing for you. Maybe that's your light. 1 day where you are hitting every major joint, really moving slowly and intentionally. Maybe that includes breath work for you. And if you check that off in your week, you know that you can still be proud that you made that time and effort for yourself. And it's easy as hell for you to do that. Your light variety should be so easily achievable, notwithstanding a time that, of course, you go through tragedy in your family or some extenuating circumstance. Your light variety should pretty much always be check-offable. And if you give yourself this mentality of this is a variety pack, and even going into the week, if you're a wicked planner, you can plan ahead and say to yourself, okay, I'm going to plan this week is hellish at work, or I have all these personal obligations, whatever it is. I'm going to pick the light variety this week. If I end up reaching for classic or full body at the end of the day and I surprise myself, well, la-di-da, awesome. But if you kind of intend, if you're a wicked planner and you want to plan ahead instead of seeing how the week falls, you can say, I'm going to grab that light variety. If you exceed that and do more, then awesome. And if you achieve that light variety, then you set out, you accomplished what you set out to achieve. And again, you get those chemical reactions. Our human ancestors were motivated by doing what felt good for them and the community. Our evolution has primed us to seek out doing things that feel good. And when we can program our nervous system, speak the language of the nervous system, and allow ourselves to feel really good doing these things that benefit our health, we can ride that wave much more easily and feel more consistent and more accountable overall. It's flipping amazing. It really is. So number 3, these ones are much more brief and we're running out of time too. So I'll just briefly say number 3 is movement snacks. If you've seen the term exercise snacks, movement snacks, this is an amazing concept. It again gets at what I'm saying about, okay, I'm going to preach about strength training or whatever, all these things. But regardless of what you're doing in a formal fitness capacity, utilize movement snacks. That is going to be so helpful. I'm going to read the words that I wrote here verbatim because I was very intentional with how I wrote it. Any movement is worth it. All movement is good movement. Really, period. Really, feel that, embrace it. And then my next sentence, emphasizing the word need, you do not need to tackle a full weekly routine of workouts in order to get some relief. Sometimes if you have chronic pain, for example, movement snacks might not be the thing that is going to take your pain away. You might need, in order to be completely pain-free and meet all your goals, you might need something like strength training or it could be anything. I would obviously, if you have issues, go get evaluated by a trusted physical therapist or healthcare professional, whether it's me or not. But you do not need a full week of cardio and strength training and breath work and blah, blah, blah in order to feel day-to-day relief of those everyday tension, aches, and pains. You can do, I swear to God, people don't do it because they convince themselves it's silly or not worth it. But if just sprinkled in through your day, if you hear my voice in your head saying, do your movement snacks, you are worth it. If you hear my voice in your head and you're sitting there tip-tapping away, or you're a manual laborer, heaving and hoeing, doing whatever. If you sit there and go, oh, okay, yeah, my shoulders are wicked tight. 30 seconds. Shake it out. Ground yourself. Okay. Nice and slow. Move my neck back and forth. Okay, that's rotation. Up, down, side, side. Moving all my available ranges of motion. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, go back to your meeting or whatever you need to do. Then later, you're like, oh, all right, I'm really not feeling good. My hips are tight, XYZ. All right, I'm getting up. Can I do? I almost just pulled my laptop off the desk. Can I get up and do? All right, 1 sit to stand, 2 sit to stands, 3, reach up, move around, and I'm right back. Do whatever you got to do. It's as simple as that. Those things will make a genuine, huge difference. People don't do them, but oh my God, they're so simple. Move anything, any body part, any amount of time, just a few little movements and get right back at it. Sometimes our bodies scream. They actually tell us, you are so tight. Move. If you find yourself naturally kind of doing the, okay, but it's sort of reactive. It's not intentional. If you're already doing something like that, that is your body's natural way of trying to get that blood flow, that nervous system input. It is screaming at you. So listen to it, honor it, and do a little more intentionally. It can be 30 seconds at a time. All right, moving right through. Number 4, set up empowering reminders. Again, the word empowering is not just because I love that word. You know I do. My podcast, Educated, Empowered, and Enthused. It's an amazing word, but I wrote empowering because I think that it is so realistic to give people options. I could say, hey, everyone, awesome accountability tool. Go time block your calendar. Make, and this is a legitimate strategy, but if you leave a whole day open to say, yeah, I'll get to my workout, it's easy to let the day pass by versus if you book yourself an appointment on your calendar at noon and say, that is a non-negotiable appointment with me and the gym, that can be helpful. But for somebody who feels like they are really overwhelmed and ashamed of not being at a certain point, health and fitness wise, maybe that calendar appointment comes up and it gives you anxiety instead of feeling motivating and empowering. If you hate the calendar reminders or the phone alarms and whatnot, don't use that. So I gave multiple options. I talked about those 2 things, calendar time blocks and phone alarms. I suggest picking a fun alarm tone and a fun little label, maybe with emojis, if you're going the phone route, to make it a little less aggressive, like you're waking up to your alarm, and a little more, it's time for movement, But if you don't like those things, I wrote down sticky notes. Put a little sticky note that's there every day, movement snacks, XOXO, on your freaking computer, on your mirror in the morning, in your office, in your car, whatever you want to do. A little fun sticky note, fun color, motivating note to yourself. You are worth it. Your health is worth it. Whatever's going to make you feel good. You can also use visual reminders like laying out a mat on the floor in your office or wherever you think you would be most likely to move, laying out your outfit that you would use for formal exercise the night before. You can put, I do silly things like, randomly putting a picture frame in the middle of the floor. Like if you have space, obviously that wouldn't work for everywhere, but this picture frame will be in the middle of the kitchen or something. And Rory, my husband, will be like, why is that picture frame there? And I'll say it's to remind me to, do my yoga later because I've been really tight or whatever. You can get creative with visual reminders. And the last one I wrote down is group text, group forum. If you are part of my community, you can use the group forums in Summer of Strength, for example, and the forum that I'm going to set up for the Lovely Bones membership, and get that accountability feedback and accountability motivation from other people in the same boat as you, other people who can help support you. You can start a group text with people in your life who are your loved ones, who want to improve in this realm too, and have that little external motivation. So whatever method feels good to you is what you should do. And we're 4 minutes over. This is my grand finale right here. Number 5, prioritize your joy. Again, this sounds silly and woo-woo, but I'm telling you, if you do not prioritize what makes you truly feel your best in life, you will not be successful with whatever less fun health behaviors you would like to achieve. Again, I'm going to read verbatim from here, and then I'll let you go. That for prioritize your joy, I wrote, a health journey, cheesy as it sounds, is a roller coaster. Maybe it's thrilling, but it's also gut-wrenching. Oh, Megan. my little fanciful language. The only way to sustainably maintain fitness results, and because fit is not healthy. Fit and healthy are 2 different things. You can have both, or you can have separate things, right? Okay. The only way to sustainably maintain fitness results and continue the holistic wellness that you deserve is to not lose sight of what grounds you, of what makes you feel the most calmly and peacefully alive. I wrote about watching the sunset with intention. I wrote about embracing your loved ones. If you do not make sure that you are making time for pure joy, again, if you're a busy parent or a caregiver or really stressed in life, you might say, Megan, Jesus, I'm not going to have time for my breath work and for joy, whatever it may be. I'm telling you, I hear you. Life is so hard. Time scarcity is real. If you allow yourself to sort of microdose, if you will, these little joys, these little movement snacks, whatever it may be, whatever it feels totally easily achievable to you right now, you will open up more time for yourself, because usually at the end of our stressful day, we feel like we have no time because we are so depleted that it takes all of our energy to do the must-dos. And we feel totally exhausted. We have to sit there and passively scroll on our phones or watch our shows or do whatever we need to do to calm down to then go to bed and do it all again the next day. You open up more energy for yourself, more bandwidth when you start to do these little things, prioritizing your joy, prioritizing your health, doing it in a way where you're removing any negativity, shame, judgment, doing the teeniest bit that you can, and then allowing yourself to build from there. If you watch the sunset with intention, if that makes you wicked happy every day, or you send an I love you text to a loved one that supports you, and you take 30 seconds to move your neck and breathe, maybe the next day you will feel better. You'll feel better about life. You'll feel happier, and it will open you up to be able to do more. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but you can still be proud of what you did for yourself, and you can still ride that positive wave and have a better lived experience. So that is all. It sounds so big and grandiose, but our brains can really work with us if we really at the core of everything, if we just speak kindly to ourselves and we adopt this sort of positive, hopeful mindset for all the practices in our life, I think we can ride the upward spiral instead of the downward spiral that most of us deal with. So I'll stop there, my little pastoral soapbox here. But if you have any other questions about accountability and about the neuroscience behind it, hit me up anytime. If you are a Summer of Strength member right now, you are absolutely killing it no matter where you are at. My Auntie Jeanette was brave enough to say, I have been absolutely horrible at starting this. Even her saying and acknowledging, I really want to start this and I've been behind. Hey, she has a drive. She has a motivation to do something positive for her health. Hopefully what I said today absolves her of any shame, negativity, judgment she was giving herself, and she will feel better and more motivated to hop into that first workout whenever she's able to do so. Just be kind to yourselves. And if you can't be kind to yourself, hit me up and I will help give you that positive affirmation that you so deserve. Again, if you're my Summer of Strength members, know that you are killing it. We have until June 21st. We've got the wrap party. If you are interested in that, I will send out the links for that very soon. But take care and be well, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye. Bye, Instagram.